A federal court has unsealed the affidavit used to justify the August 8th search of former President Donald Trump's South Florida estate.
And much of that affidavit is blacked out, but we are getting a look at some of the justification for the search. The FBI said earlier this year 14 of 15 boxes retrieved from the former president contain classified records. That includes 25 documents marked top secret. Trump lambasted the affidavit, the Justice Department, and the federal judge who signed off on that search, which he called a break-in of his home. This is a remarkable moment in American history. So let's go to CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. He joins us this afternoon from Washington, D.C. Scott, thanks so much for being here. What stands out to you among the parts of the affidavit that were unsealed today?
Well, let's be clear, a lot of it is blacked out, redacted. There are pages upon pages where we don't get to see the black and white, the text. But page 30 of this 38-page affidavit says something we've never seen before in American history, that the FBI argues they found possible, quote, fruits of crime at the residence of a former president, or that they believed there would be fruits of crime at the residence of a former president. It's just something we've never seen before. But also, they get granular in this affidavit, specifying a certain part of this sprawling complex, the 45 office, the office used by the former president, a room called the Pine Hall, kind of the opening to the former president's residence. They argued those areas are not authorized to hold classified information, and they had reason to believe those areas might have been holding classified information. All of this is just purely one of a kind, Jess.
Yeah, and speaking of that, from what you could see that was not blacked out, did anything, Scott, stand out that was just really unusual about this document, and why?
Yep. Sure, Jess. This document existing in the public sphere at all is unusual. Usually we don't get to see affidavits for search warrants in the criminal justice system unless or until a case is filed. A civil case, a criminal case. This affidavit was released because the Attorney General deemed it was possible with redactions, and that a court ordered it released because media groups and Trump surrogates were pushing to read it. So that we get to see an affidavit without seeing a case is itself rare, but also, Jess, they're saying in this affidavit that there were dozens of pieces of secret or classified information they believe were in unauthorized locations at a former president's residence. All of this is one of a kind.
Yeah, unprecedented. All right, Scott, always great to see you back in our region. Thanks so much. The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell will have the very latest on the release of the redacted affidavit. That's coming up at 6:30, right after Eyewitness News.
Tomorrow, we'll